All right, Andrew, you got 2 minutes. Andrew Van Beek from DevDocs.
We're working on like DevDocs, which is basically AI-powered developer documentation. So here is basically like an example of like our own documentation site that's actually like generated with like our own like AI. It basically looks at your like code base and then generates your docs so you guys can focus on shipping. So what I sort of want to do here is basically sort of show a live demo of this. So let's say, and can you guys hear me all right? Is this volume all right? Yeah. Okay. So I know time is of the essence. So here I'm actually signed in with like the DevDocs like extension here. I can actually just select my team, which is Sprite AI. So here I can generate two types of documentation. So one is like onboarding documentation. You're a new engineer on my team and you're trying to learn how to contribute to this code base. So here I just hit Shift-Command-D, and then this is actually going to generate documentation to a little markdown folder called like DevDocs here. And you can sort of see the documentation is generating in like real time on this actual code file called index.js. And then if you're ever curious on it, you can always just like right click on this file, and then this will open up like a little editor on like all the notes on that actual specific like code file or directory. So if you're ever curious on like the actual documentation of a code file, you can do it like so. Now let's just say you had the opposite use case of like, hey, I'm building an SDK, an API, some sort of product, and I need public documentation. You can actually just hit public external docs. And what this is actually going to do is generate documentation to a markdown site very similar to the documentation site you guys saw at the beginning of this demo. So if I actually go to Sprite AI DevDocs, which is, you know, my fake SDK, you can actually see there's actually a now timestamp on my GitHub repo. So here, I realize I've done this demo a lot, so there's like a lot of folders. So I was like, you know, like, oh, what's going on? And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see the documentation generated there too. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Andrew.